You're a feminist.
Yes, I am.
When you describe yourself as a feminist, what do you mean?
I believe the feminism movement is centered around empowering women and making sure that women are treated equally to men.
Okay. Do you feel like women are not treated equally?
Of course.
How so?
In many ways, I feel like women are respected less than men. I feel like women are obviously paid less than men. We could talk about the wage gap or whatever, but that's beating a dead horse.
What do you mean?
Sorry.
How would it be beating a dead horse?
Well, I just feel like that's the argument that people bring up in every conversation.
All right, sure.
About
Are there
equality.
other things?
Yeah. Again, I feel like women are respected less than men. I feel like women are sexualized more than men. I feel like women are, put in positions more often where they have to fight for their rights more than men do.
Which rights are those?
Pick one, all of them.
Which one?
I mean, like speaking their mind, being able to,
well, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, is not gender specific.
No, it's not. You're right. But I guess maybe less of a right in the legislative sense, like you said before, but more like the right to be listened to and respected.
Wait, you said the right to speak your mind. Do you genuinely think it's the case that women are like somehow prohibited by the
That's
state?
That's not what I meant. Not speak your
from...
mind. More like, I feel like when women do speak their mind, they're listened to less and held to a not.
Do you think this is reflected in social media?
What do you mean?
Well, for example, I would make the argument that there's like, sorry guys, phone going off. I'd say that there's way more women who are participating in social media and like propagating their feelings and opinions. Like I'd say, I don't know what the precise number is. I couldn't cite to some study, but women are far more involved creating and posting on social media, while men also do this too. It's like a much smaller proportion of men who engage on social media. You look at TikTok, Instagram, etc. It's overwhelmingly women who sort of dominate on these platforms. And if you like, whether it's like making silly dance videos or like spreading rhetoric or whatever, you see far more women engaging in that sort of thing without any sort of reprisal or like limitation on their speech, either platform-wise or by the government.
Well, sure, they're engaging in it, but like I said, I revised what I said before. Of course, everybody has free speech, whatever, but I don't feel like women are taken as seriously.
By who?
Everyone. Even women.
Even other women?
Even women, yeah.
Women take women less seriously?
I believe so.
What if I told you there was a study that indicated that actually women have an in-group bias? They have a strong in-group bias for other women, and then men actually have an out-group bias, slight out-group bias for women.
Yeah, well, I think that makes sense, but that doesn't necessarily... I mean, what do you mean by in-group bias? Just who you feel more comfortable with? I mean, I know what in-group bias means. But.
Yeah, it could be. So an in-group bias would basically be like, if you're a woman, your in-group is women. If you're a man, your out-group would be women.
Yeah, I know.
So if you have an in-group bias, you have a bias towards your same, what it could be race, it could be gender, it could be whatever. It could be your political affiliation. So women have an in-group bias towards other women, and then men have a slight out-group bias.
I know what
men.
in-group bias and out-group bias mean. Yeah. I mean, what is the bias? Like, what are they biased
about? Oh, sure.
About?
It could manifest in all sorts of ways. Like women will have a greater tendency to, you seem to make the claim that even other women don't show respect to women. I would make the counterclaim that I actually think women tend to show more respect to other women and have less respect towards men. So that would be like an example of an in-group bias, that women are going to value the words of other women over the words of other men.
Or the statistic that women will most often excuse the same behavior they wouldn't excuse for men just because a woman's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Well, example. I think that comes from and I feel like, every conversation about feminism turns back to this eventually, but I feel like the in-group bias, just from my own personal experience and perception of other women, comes from the idea of safety, and women feel more safe around other women. And so, an example of a behavior, like what do you mean, like a behavior that they would excuse? I don't think you're wrong. I just want to.
That's a good question. Let me think of a good example. I don't know. It's tough to put an example on it. I think that we will see. Okay, for example, women will get together at like brunch or something, and they'll participate in the, maybe the culture of like shitting on your husband and like complaining about your husband and stuff. Whereas if men were sitting at the same table, debating how shitty their wives were, like that wouldn't necessarily be accepted. But as women, we tend to let each other pass on certain toxic behaviors just because we're women. I mean, it can really be anything. It could
I
be,
think that's
it goes
just
from like sexual
I think
assault
that's just
to
in-group bias in
misogyny.
general, where men do the same thing for them. I'm sure that if men heard a bunch of women shitting on husbands, they would be upset. But I know for a fact that men get together and shit on their wives and girlfriends. So